Hi, Thomas here with another episode on tone tips for the Kemper Profiler. In this video I'd like to show you the new Kemper Kabinet and how to use it. The cabinet is equipped with a 12-inch Kemper cone speaker and it can be controlled by the Profiler software. It's a passive cab and can be hooked up to a powered Profiler rack or head. If you're using an unpowered Profiler or a Profiler stage, you need a separate Class D power amp. Or you have to be patient. An active cabinet with an integrated power amp is in the works. With a powered head or rack version, you connect the cabinet in with the speaker out of the Profiler by using a speaker cable. When you're using a separate power amp, connect the monitor output with the power amp input using an instrument cable. Then connect the power amp output to the cabinet input using a speaker cable. If you're using a stereo power amp, you can also connect two cabinets and run them in stereo. It's important to connect the cabinet to the monitor out or speaker out because all the settings for the Kemper cone are only working for the monitor out signal. The cabinet is only for your sound on stage and this is controlled by the monitor out. The main out signal is not affected by these settings. Another important thing is, as I said, the cabinet should be used for personal monitoring to get the amp in the room sound on stage, but it's not suitable for miking the guitar sound. So what you hear in this video is just an attempt to capture the sound of the cabinet so that you can hear the differences between some settings and the sound of the speaker imprints. So let's get started. When you're using a powered Profiler, first of all, you need to turn the power amp on. Press the output button and navigate to the page Power Amp and activate Power Amp On with soft button 1. You should turn the volume to a lower level before you start playing. Then go to page 1, Output Source, and set Master Mono for the monitor output signal. Next, you can navigate to the Kemper cone page to make all the settings for the cabinet. On this page you find also the control for the monitor output level. First of all, you need to activate the cone functions with soft button 1. With these settings made, the cabinet runs in full range mode, which means that you hear the original cab from the profile with the cabinet. To adjust the sound you can use the monitor out EQ with bass, middle, treble and presence. On the Kemper cone page you have a parameter called sweetening. When you turn this up, you get a more enhanced sound. The low and high end will be boosted. At maximum setting, you get a boost of 6 dB in this frequency range. The main feature of the cabinet and the cone speaker is the speaker imprint mode. Here you can load different speaker imprints for the cabinet. To do this, you need to activate the monitor cap off function with soft button 3. Now the original cap from the profile is turned off, only for the monitor out, and you can choose a speaker imprint for the cabinet. Speaker imprints are DSP-based speaker simulations of classic guitar speakers. 19 different imprints are available, and here's a short rundown of a few imprints with the same profile. When you play with clean sounds, the speaker imprints may sound quite similar. The difference is more audible when you play with overdrive or distortion sounds. In the next example, I alternately play a vintage 30 and a greenback speaker imprint with different profiles. In the speaker imprint mode, we have also some parameters to tweak the sound. First of all, you can also use the monitor output EQ. The parameter sweetening is not available. It's only available in the full range mode. But here we have directivity, and this is very special. When you listen to a normal guitar speaker, then you will notice that the sound in the middle of the speaker, the on-axis sound, has a lot of high frequencies. When you position your ears out of the middle axis, the sound will get duller. The Kemper cone has more high frequencies at the off-axis sound, so it features a larger high-frequency dispersion than many traditional guitar speakers. When you turn the parameter directivity to the max, you will get the same on-axis sound like the original. When you like to have a warmer and creamier tone, then try some lower values. Two settings are left in the upper row of the Kemper cone page. With soft button 2, you can activate the monitor stereo function, when you want to play in stereo with two cabinets. If you do this, don't forget to set master stereo for the monitor out on page 1 of the output menu. On the right we have a function called bass boost. That will give you a boost of 3 dB in the lower frequencies. The Kemper cone has been designed to have a perfect tone when the cabinet sits on the floor and can utilize the reflections from the floor to add a certain amount of low frequencies. When you lift the cabinet, it will lose some bass, and to compensate this, you can activate the bass boost. The internal power amp of the powered profiler can deliver up to 600 watts at 4 ohm. Which is the impedance of the cabinet. The Kemper cone can handle 200 watt. But it's no problem to play with this combination. It depends on how loud you are playing. That means how much power the amp delivers to the cabinet. A good way to control the output power is to use the wattage meter. You find it in the output menu on the Power Amp page next after the Kemper Cone page. Here you can see how much power is exactly delivered while you're playing. A speaker doesn't get damaged by too much peak level, but by accumulating too much heat over time. And you should also be careful with the bass frequencies. Low frequencies will put much more load on your speakers than high frequencies. This is affected by the bass setting of the EQ, but also by the playing technique. For example, palm mute playing creates a lot of low frequencies and more power. So if you're playing a 5-minute song with permanent palm mute playing on maximum volume and power amp boost on, you better be careful and watch the wattage meter. Another thing I recommend is, when you play on stage, to link the monitor out level to the master volume control to have quick access to your stage volume every time. To do that, navigate to page 2, Output Volumes, in the Output menu and activate Monitor Out link. The others can be deactivated. Now the master volume knob controls only the level of the monitor out. In the output menu you can choose the global speaker imprint for all rigs. If you like to use a different speaker imprint for some special rigs, then you can change this setting in the cap menu of the rig. Choose the rig where you want to change the speaker imprint. Then press the Cabinet button and navigate to page 2. Here you can change the speaker imprint for this rig. You can choose the global imprint, which is set in the output menu, or another one which is only set for this rig. If you're using a profile without a cap, for example, a rig for acoustic guitar with a profiled acoustic guitar preamp, the profiler automatically switches to full range mode when you choose this rig. You can do all settings for the Kemper Cone also in the Rig Manager's editor. Click Output and then scroll down to the settings for the Kemper Cone. Here you can do your global adjustments. If you want to change the speaker imprint only for one rig, you need to go to the Cap menu. Click Cabinet and choose the imprint you want to use for this rig. That's all for now with sounds and settings with the Kemper Kabinet. If you like, check out the other tone tips videos and tutorials on this channel. Thanks for watching.